Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We got here
Piersen.
And what did you do today?
Went X2 at Greenville. Didn't, get a good enough spot. There were a lot of X1s. So.
And what deck did you play?
Mitsurugi Fiendsmith.
How did that feel today? How was the deck?
Well, I was originally going to be playing Mermail, but and then I was going to be playing Orcus, and then I was going to be playing Mitsurugi Fiendsmith. So I kind of went between like 7 decks within a 2-day span. So I picked this deck at like 4 a.m.
They decided at last minute.
Last minute, yeah.
You want to do shoutouts at the end, or want to do shoutouts now?
We'll just do shoutouts at the end.
Okay, go for it.
All right, shout out W Squad. Okay. Originally.
All right.
Alrighty, so we've got for the Mitsurugi cards, we have 3 Habakiri, we have 1 Murakumo, and then Kutsu equals game. Because if this resolves, you win. I wouldn't want to play any more than this. I never played Kutsu before in any of the other variants I've played, but this card's crazy. And then for the rest of the monsters, we play 3 Aramasa, 2 Saji, and then 1 Kusanagi.
How'd you feel about 2 Saji today?
I mainly sided 1 out, to be honest, going like second and stuff, because we play a second ritual, and I also use that for second patterns if I need like a lot of going second cards. But it was really nice to just have extra names to search during their turn, especially when you do the Kutsu or Kutsu loop and start trying to recur resources again. But I wouldn't change any of this, to be honest. And then it felt like in this list, this card was not much as of a brick, because instead of like putting 3 different engines in it, you're focusing mainly on the Mitsurugi part, this card was just crazy all day.
It's a good card. I like just recycling from Grave and Banish seems really good.
I just feel like it sucks against when you're like trying to do a monster mash, splice 3 different engines in it. It's just, it's kind of like Node and Cross.
You just don't need it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then best engine in the game, the Fiendsmith. So we got 3, 2, and then 1. Before in my Fiendsmith pile decks, I was only playing 1 Engraver because Droll sucks, so you'd rather open track instead of the Engraver. And then I was only playing 1 Lacrima, but we play the combo where you can get these 2 out. If you open 1, you can get the other one out. So it's it gives you imp if you don't have Mitsurugi cards, and then it's just you reoccur them a lot better, and you can also use them for side patterns as well.
I feel like it also makes Engraver just a 1-card starter at that point too.
That too. And normal summon and Lurry in this deck, specifically this deck list, is actually perfectly fine. And then for like the Mitsurugi spells, we have 3 prayers,
God card,
2 ritual, and then mirror. These cards are crazy. 9 times out of 10, if I was going second, I'd be siding out the 1 ritual. You really want to see it in your opening hand, like going first, because it means you can play into Droll better, as long as you have one of the big names and you have more in the deck than normal, so the percentage is higher. And like you can just go prayer. You'll like normal summon a body. They'll go Droll. And you have prayers. You'll just chain it. And then as long as you have a big one of the rituals, you're able to do like Dynamundo IP plays, which is what I was doing 9 times out of 10. And then mirror was also really good to keep putting itself back in the deck whenever we were doing Kutsu's soul charge effect. And then the rest of the Fiendsmith cards, we played the 2-track. I was playing Synced before in a pile list, and then we were playing Paradise before. I don't want those cards, to be honest. I don't want to see those cards. Paradise 9 times out of 10 doesn't do enough. I'd rather Kutsu swarm the board, and then IP in the Dino, and then like in the SP. It's just better.
I think also in this deck too, it does feel like you don't really need it as much.
Well, what I also like about this variant of the deck is you can play a higher count of non-engine, and it doesn't stop like the functionality of your deck. Speaking of non-engine, we got a whole lot. So we got 3 Ash, we've got 3 Beryllia,
Staple.
We've got 3 Fua,
Also staple.
we've got 3 Droll,
Also staple.
we got 3 Nib, we got 2 Bistles. These are crazy. In like round 6 and 7, I had both of these in my hand with like Engraver, Aramasa, and like like a call by. I was just like, oh, I mean, it just automatically wins you the mirror because you hit the Murakama, you hit the Kutsu. If they're even playing Kutsu, you just win. You just immediately outgrind them because there's no way that they're getting it back. I wouldn't change any of this non-engine. I think all of this non-engine was perfect. There were some games where I was citing out like a certain number of like the Perulias or Fuas or Drolls if they weren't good in that matchup. Like Orcust, I took Drolls out even if they were playing the Mitsurugi version because I'd rather have Lancias or Meows because the Mitsurugi cards play into those anyway. So
that makes sense.
And then the rest of the non-engine that aren't hand traps, we got the no cards. We got 3 Salesman, Call By, and Cross Out. Yeah, if you see a combination of one of these or stand alone, just one of them, and then a starter, yeah, you're really ahead. They have to have like 2 hand traps and hit you in a specific way, but...
How many times did you actually see Salesman today?
So Salesman saved me whenever I had hands where I had like 2 normal summons. So there were 2 game ones where I had like Fua Perulia, Lacrima, Saji, and then this. And I was like, the only thing I lose to is Ash. And I called Ash, and he had the Ash, so I just went full combo because that's the only interruption he had. And so this plus Saji equals game. But that was the main deck. It was 47 cards, I think it is.
47.
I mean, I didn't break it all today, so I mean, I have no complaints on this list. Was super clean. I don't think I'd change anything about it, to be honest.
I like it. What are you going to do next? Side deck extra?
We'll do side deck.
Gotcha.
So side deck we have the 3 no card, and then the other no card.
We like Malice.
I actually never sided in Meows.
Oh.
I mean, I did pick up this deck at 4 a.m., so I didn't know the side patterns for this, because there's, I don't know, it's really weird to be playing into a new format, and, Orcus, Mitsu, and different Orcus variants. It's kind of interesting to, decide which Molchummy is the best, because you can only activate 2, so if you're putting 9 in your deck, I feel like there's some hands where this definitely doesn't do anything.
Gotcha.
Especially because some of the Mitsu card, I mean, most of the Orcus cards summon from deck or banished. I mean, it'll be just 1 from this and like the Link 1, but they don't have to play into that because then they can just babble and then just do it on your turn. So you get like maybe 1 draw, and I feel like it's not worth when you can just be siding into better going second cards.
I did feel like Lancia got better in this small little format before Nats with Orcus.
Yeah, because it stops Orcus, it stops Mermail, it stops Malice, Crystron Horus. I mean, it has more applications than just, no, it stops Malice. But the card that I cited the most and used the most is this guy.
Oh, man.
There's nowhere it says on it is once per turn. And there were lots of times where I would have this and maybe like a Fua that I activated, and I got like maybe 5 cards, and it's like free because you'll just target and they'll remove their guys and you won't have to banish anything. And if you have another one, you just go second main phase and then you just do it again.
Yeah, this card's crazy. It's so good.
Yeah, I would have lost against. So my round 1 was a Dynamorphia Gold Pride Punk deck. Yeah. He was playing like game 1. He won the die roll, and then he summoned like the level 4 to set the trap that summons the one from the extra deck and lock me, and I was able to beat him there. And then game 2 he went complete Punk Gold Pride combo, and then he normal summoned the level
Theresia.
4, yeah, that one to set, and I was like, oh, and then but I opened double Fua because, I kept that in instead of Nib because we don't have a lot of back row and I drew like 20 cards, so I went like this, I bounced his whole field. I went battle phase, second main phase, I bounced his whole field again because he like quick synchroed and stuff, and I was like, well, you got like 1 set card, and I got like 12 cards in hand still, so it's like, but this card is super good. I think it's really underrated right now. Some more going second cards. We got 2 thrust, 1 talents, and then the other thrust targets for going first. That's just an engine piece. But we got the gnomes and the DDG.
How did Gnomes feel today? Did it come up that often, or?
I never saw it. I mean, a lot of the time, see, this goes back to me not understanding the side patterns really. Because going first, the deck is really well going first. It performs really well. So a lot of the time, it also helps that I only one die roll, and it was the last one. So I was always going second. So these were always going in. But Chaos Angel is main decking it is like the reason why I won all my game ones against Orcus, because they can't do anything to it. Speaking of extra deck, we got shout out Dean.
Download it.
All right, extra deck. we got King of the Pharaoh Imps.
Near mint, by the way.
Near mint. Shout out Gage, and his cat. We got Dugaris. I only summoned it once because a lot of the time you don't just have 2 4s on field. Like normally, I was playing the Rizel combo deck, so I was always trying to get 2 4s on field. But in this version, you just want to get 2 bodies on the field. You really don't care what they are. But I summoned this once going second, and I had like a Lacrima and another guy on field, but I didn't have enough Fiends engraved to make it like a sequence. So I just looked at my extra. I was like, oh, I don't know what I can make. So I just made this, and I drew 2, and I drew Thrust and Talents, and I was like, yep, that's the game.
It's pretty good.
Yep, that was it. The last XYZ was Photon Lord. I made this a couple times. I like to make it when like game 2, when I know, they might side into like nibs and stuff like that, and I open like more ritual, like more of a ritual type hand, where you can just make this really easy, and then you can do like Fiendsmith stuff after, because at least you'll be protected, and then you can do like a Caesar or Desiree depending on what deck they're on. But this card's really good.
Gotcha.
I like that it destroys the card, and it just negate it.
Just negates it, yeah. It's kind of nice sometimes.
Links, we got SP, we got IP, we got Dynamundo. So your end board is always like this, and like the
Like
quick
one
play.
of these.
You get like this, and then you can pivot into one of these 2. I had a mirror match, well, almost a mirror match, and we kept summoning dinos, and we kept shuffling our dinos back. It was the funniest thing. It was just a Futsu mirror, to be honest. These cards were really good. They all came out. Yeah, they were really good. And then Fiendsmith stuff. We've got Moon. We've got Sequence. This one I can't pronounce.
Agnade.
Yep. We got Caesar. We've got Princess. We've got Desiree.
Caesar number 2.
Oh yeah, exactly. 2.0. We got Requiem, and then we got the best Fiendsmith card.
The best Fiendsmith.
Oh, okay. Let me talk about this card. Okay. I played against like 3 Orcus, but it was never like pure Orcus. It was like Orcus Mitsu. It was literally Orcus Mitsu, and they don't play Nightmare. Orcus Nightmare.
They can't out the
This
card.
guy. So they would set up their board, because I lost all the die rolls to them. So they would set up like the Link 4 and Crescendo. So I would go Lacrima and then summon not Desiree, but Engraver from Grave, and I can make the Necroquip to make a light dark Chaos Angel, but I'm not, because it plays into the Crescendo. So I just slap this on, and that light effect says it's unaffected. And it's a 3,500, and there's nothing in their deck except Nightmare that lets them get over that, because they don't play a Gum Day or whatever the heck it's called. And so the highest that they can get this down to is through Habakiri, but in those decks, the Mitsurugi part is literally just an engine to get to your Orcus cards, so they never reoccur their resources for the Mitsurugi part. And so they never were able to have Habakiri and Murakuma on field to hit over this. Like they were able to drop this down, but the Link 4 is 100 attack less than this when it's dropped from the Habakiri. And so I had a guy like try to attack into this. I'm like, yeah, that's still 800 or whatever, 2,700, and the guy's 26. I'm like, and then they leave the Link 1 up. She just punched for 35 for fun. And
fun.
Yeah, and then they all spent game 1 20, 25 minutes trying to figure out how to out this.
And they just had no out.
They had no out. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just making game two, too. I mean, I don't know what I literally just sat on this. I drew, attack, passed.
I feel like Chaos Angel is just so good in this format, too.
This card's crazy.
There's so many decks that just can't out it in engine or without imperm or something.
I think it's crazy. And not a lot of decks are playing imperm right now.
It's so good. Especially if you make it with a light and dark, too.
Yeah, and then like the last extra slot, which I bamboozled somebody with this because, Kutsu floods the field.
Oh, no.
Underworld Goddess, their Mitsurugi field.
Not the white woman jump scare.
Oh, yeah. This is the best thing ever. I had Kutsu full field and then Moon. I activate Moon. And the guy goes, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, so I'm linking half of your field off. He's like, huh? I was like, yeah, I'm making this. And then he tried to like activate a graveyard effect to spell something. I was like, no.
Oh, yeah, this can also negate like Mitsurugi cards or something like that.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
It is very cool. Like if they tribute and then you go, yeah, no. And it's big. I mean, it's 3,000.
Yeah.
And it's like another way to get rid of Chaos Angel if you're like in a really grindy game, and because you always shuffle Moon back originally in your combo if you don't open the Fiendsmith cards.
That's fair.
But there's nothing I've changed about this extra. I mean, the flex spots are the Link 5 and the Dugaris, I think, are the Link slots.
And the Photon Lord, I guess.
Yeah, and the Photon Lord.
Yeah.
I think this is really needed, though. It helps in certain matchups, too, like monster-heavy matchups like Malice and stuff like that.
Also, I think ending with this on a Wave King Caesar against Malice seems kind of nasty.
It's really good. And like a Murakumo, so now you got a monster negate, you have an Omni, and another Omni. And every time I was summoning Desiree, it was a 7,000 attack, because I had all 3 links equipped to it. And they were like, huh? How big is that? I was like, 7,000, buddy.
All right. Well, that was it. Anything you change about the deck? Anything that you think you would want to change or do to the deck differently? Or
I mean, it's at 47 cards, so I don't know if there's a way that we could cut it down. I don't know if I would want to cut it down, though, because I didn't have any like consistency issues. But other than that, I guess we'll just have to test for Nats format and then just move on from there. I mean, I think like the side deck could use some work because the matchups where like DDG and Gnomes are good in. I feel like we need more like going second cards. There were like some games where I wish I could thrust into a Harpy's Storm, like a Harpy's Feather Duster. So like I feel like you don't need this.
The DDG.
Yeah, I feel like this could just be a Harpies because there were like a game against Blue Eyes where I could have just I could have made my life so much easier and just Harpies instead of having to like SP banish a dude and like Murakumo blow up your field to make sure that they can't do like fusions of plays and stuff like that. It would just streamline going second.
Gotcha.
The other thing would be like to try evenly because the only like decks that are using Omni negates are Mitsurugi, but you can just negate the Murakumo. And then post side they like do purification, but that's fine. And then like Orcus does the crescendo. But like against Malice and all these other like combo decks, they have monster negates. Like Punk has the monster negate, they don't have a spell trap negate.
It's just kind of free.
So you can just slap down it evenly. Decks like those, Rizal doesn't have a spell trap negate. Just evenly that.
That's fair.
I feel like that's like something that we can definitely try.
Okay.
The only other thing is this deck is not like a blowout deck. It's like more of a low to the ground, grindy game.
Yeah.
I was always having like 20, 25 minute game 1s, game 2s, stuff like that. The only other thing that I would want to consider is like maybe some time card because we are losing in time because of the pay 800.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I lost one of my games to like Cowboy in like the third game. I was like, this was a really good game. I wish I could Cowboy, but it's just one of those cards. How the game is.
That makes sense. Well, any shout outs you want to give and shout outs at the end?
Yep. Shout Mythic Gaming. Shout out to Alien Card Game. Shout out to Colby. Shout out to ToonGaming. Shout out to Dean and Jordan for being the boys. And just shout out to all the homies. Shout out to my wife.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And that's all.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it. This is Jordan with Mythic Games signing off.